Good morning, everybody. Well, we had a little time before church, so we thought we'd show you how our seedlings are doing. These seedlings that I have upstairs here now, we're going to start hardening off. I've got a whole bunch more downstairs under the grow light still, and those will be ones that we bring up later when the weather gets warmer. But all of these seeds here can tolerate the cooler weather, and that's what we're going to plant first. I don't know if you can see these up close, but our rhubarb, we've got a bunch of lettuces, kale, spinach, a whole variety of romaine lettuces, butter crunch, and then some herbs, parsley, cilantro, spinach. These are things that, kale, these are things that can do good in the early spring. And just for fun, I want to show you, Mia, your radish is just beautiful, honey. You planted such a good radish. And Gemma, this is from your little seed. Your marigold is looking so healthy and nice. And Becky and Sasha and Taylor, yours have all sprouted. They look beautiful, but they're not for the cool weather, so they're still down under the grow lights. So let's get down to business, and we'll talk about how to harden off your plants before you put them in the garden. So, for instance, here's a red romaine. All the plants have been down under the grow lights. They've been being taken care of. They've had no stressors on them at all. They just sit under the grow lights and get their water and are taken care of. You cannot just take these and put them in the garden. They're not hardy enough. They have to get used to being outside. So, what you do is you have to watch your weather. It's different for everybody. We happen to have a couple days this past week now, and it warmed up a little. It had been snowing and blowing and cold and freezing, and then it got nicer. It actually has been in the 70s. So for the past couple days, I've started hardening this off. The important points to remember are you want to start hardening them off in the shade. And you can start the cool weather type crops, like I just mentioned to you, anywhere from like 50, 60, 70 degrees in the shade, and you start for 1 hour a day. So my first day, I was lucky, I had a nice warm day. I took my pans out, put them on my table on my shaded porch, let them stay for 1 hour. The second day, I let them stay out for 2 hours. Then you watch your weather, and you keep increasing the time, and maybe for 5 days, 7 days, you extend the time in the shade. And once that's done, then you introduce them to maybe an hour of sun, and then maybe 2 hours of sun, and then you can put them back in the shade. And then eventually you let them stay out all day, and then eventually you let them stay out all night. It's just a process. It can take like from 10 days to 2 weeks. You just watch it according to your weather. So you start a little bit in the shade, increase that gradually. Then after they've had a number of days doing that, you try an hour of sun, maybe 2 hours of sun, and gradually increase that. Then, once they can tolerate staying like in the sun all day, you let them stay out overnight. And once they can stay out all day and all night, and they're tolerating the sun and the cooler weather at night, you can take them down to the garden and plant them. Like I said, the process takes about 10, 14, maybe more days. It all depends on your weather. And it's kind of fun to get them strong. And I just wanted to give you another little tip. I was kind of pleased. Grandpa and I like to call our homestead Grandma's and Grandpa's make-do homestead. We try to make do with what we have, and we try to make do with not spending a lot of money. And what I did was I bought, the last 2 years since I've been doing these eggshell planters, I bought my seeds. I get 40 different types of seeds, and then I got 12 different types of herbs in these from this particular company. They're all non-GMO, heirloom, organic seeds. So they come in a little packet like this, so that's how I get 40 different types in just a little bit. I only spent, for the vegetables, I spent $14, and I've got 40 different types. And for the herbs, I spent $8. For the seed starter to put in the dirt I put in the eggshells, it only cost me $5. So I've planted about 175, 180 eggshells. I'm going to have all kinds of plants to share with people and to put in my garden, and I've done it all for $27. And these seeds, if you don't use all of them, because just one goes in each, or 2 or 3 goes in each eggshell, you can store these and keep them for next year. And every seed, because it's an heirloom seed, you can actually collect them and save your seeds for next year. But we'll get into that another time. Right now we're talking about hardening off, and I just wanted to tell you how inexpensively, by using your own eggshells and the egg containers, because we eat the eggs anyway, we buy them for $2 a dozen from a Mennonite lady. And so I think that's all I have to say about hardening off. Next time I see you, I think we'll be going down into the garden to get our beds ready to plant these. And so before I go, I just found this wonderful Bible verse I thought ties right in to having a garden and everything that all you kids are attempting to do. And it's from Jeremiah 29, starting at verse 5. And God's people were in exile, and this is what he told them to do while they were in exile, to live a normal life. And what was a normal life? This is what he said. This is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. Build houses and settle down. Plant gardens and eat what they produce. Marry and have sons and daughters. Pray to the Lord. And so as we're going about our daily lives, having a garden, building our families, praying to God, these are all things that are important to the heart of God. And I just hope to continue with showing you how Grandpa and I get our garden started and try to do it frugally. And so I think I'm going to end it here now. So goodbye, everybody.
From our homestead to yours.
From our homestead to yours.